Hi, Ralph Hess here, a 40-year veteran of the ERP wars, shall we say. Today, I'd like to talk about a very popular topic, NetSuite versus SAP. Which one is the right product for what company? What I want to talk about today, and we'll run our way through it, is a little bit about where there's a fit for each one of these solutions. You know, where the right fit for NetSuite is, because there is. So let's get started. You can always, in a sales cycle these days, you can always find the usual suspects, as I call them. You have your NetSuite, your Acumaticas, your SAPs, your Infors, your Epicors. What's the right solution for a company that's 100 million to a billion? I think a lot of it has to do with what the complexity of the business is. If it's $100 million business and next year it's going to be 102 million and the net following year is 105 million, that is a very stable, mature business. Perhaps NetSuite is good for that. Not a lot of complexity to the business. Perhaps it's not a very complex supply chain. If you're talking to a $100 million company where you're talking about aspirational growth, they're really just established and they're going to take a hockey stick up and to the right, as you will, with some significant growth or even some expansion that requires some additional complexity to the business. That's where you're going to find more of a fit for the SAP solution. Now, listen, SAP in a lot of people's minds is a four-letter word. And it's really does not need to be. Everybody has heard stories of SAP implementations, how much they cost, how much the software costs, the staffing that's required. Well, SAP has really changed the game over the last 5 years. So let's talk a little bit about NetSuite, and I'll come back to SAP. So NetSuite has been a real, let's say, leader for small businesses that are looking to evolve from their QuickBooks, their Peachtree, their Sage 100 type, let's call them accounting systems, really providing that first glimpse into what an ERP can do for a company. Perfect for an organization that's maybe one or two entities, a warehouse, not really complex manufacturing, just very simple stuff, right? There are millions of businesses that's a perfect fit for. When you start to get into the world of I've got multiple companies. Perhaps I'm operating internationally. I need a lot of currency support because I've really expanded the business. Maybe I'm going omni-channel. I'm selling through Amazon and Shopify, Alibaba, any of those electronic marketplaces. That's where you're going to start to see the complexity that's required that SAP supports. Now, don't confuse complexity with cost. It's really important to understand. You can get the complexity and read that as robustness and business outcomes out of the SAP solution for not that much more of an investment than you're going to have to put into a true NetSuite implementation. Now, you'll hear me say the word a true implementation because that's not one of the suite success type startup that get it up and running very inexpensively, and you're just using kind of some core capabilities. Maybe you have financials and sales order processing. We're not talking about that. That's nothing that can run a business that's $100 million and above. There's going to be a phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5 to those projects with additional add-ons to have to support the complexities of the business as it evolves. So when you start taking a look and comparing what a full-blown NetSuite implementation is, a 5-year total cost of ownership, read that as once the discounts wear off that they offer to hook you in the beginning, you're not going to be that far off from an SAP Cloud ERP public cloud implementation. So as you're evaluating solutions, it's about the right fit to your company. Maybe not where it is today, but where it's going to be in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You don't want to make an investment. I'll liken it to I'm going to buy a sedan, but I'm going to have 6 kids. Right? That sedan's only going to last me 2-3 years. Car seats aren't all going to fit in, right? You're going to need a much larger, more expensive, more functional vehicle to run your family. It's the same thing as you're going to need for your business. So hopefully I've solved and explained a little bit about where the right fit is for the right solutions. NetSuite, again, being very good for smaller, simpler businesses. As you scale, number of transactions, business volume, business complexity, that's where you really want to give SAP Cloud ERP a very serious look. So now that I've talked a bit about NetSuite and where its fit is, let's expand a little bit about SAP Cloud ERP public. As you're taking a look at an organization that is, again, I reference it as either experiencing significant growth or expanding through line of business type expansion, that's where you're really going to get the benefits of SAP. So that 100 million growing to 200 million to 300 million, or even that 100 million or 150 million that has a manufacturing facility that's using third-party logistics for their distribution, that's selling both in brick and mortar, the e-commerce world, through other alternative routes to market. Those are the types of complexities that the SAP product is going to provide you the capabilities that you're looking for. It eliminates this whole need for integration of add-on solutions. So if you need warehouse management, if you have a bunch of people running around scanning boxes to do efficient delivery and organizing your warehouse, it's already in the product. If you have a bunch of production machines that you need to run preventative maintenance and keep track of cycles, times, and things like that, it's already in the solution. If you're taking a look at maybe I've got a project management component to my business, maybe research and development I want to keep track of using projects, it's already in the box. Maybe I'm looking at expanding into the EU. Maybe I'm looking at expanding into Asia. The capabilities and localizations are already there in the box. So what you're seeing is that SAP over the last 10 years has taken the breadth of what they have capability-wise and everything that they learned in 50 years and compressed it into a solution that's easy to configure, easy to adopt, and easy to deploy. So don't be fooled by the false narratives that SAP is too big, too complex, too expensive. There is a SAP solution that is the right fit for your business today. Yeah, yeah. So obviously, as you're looking at me, I am with Navigator Business Solutions, one of the leading resellers of SAP public cloud solutions. Feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help you find the right fit.